So, guys, hello and welcome to the last of this very interesting experimental series we've been able to run, which is called Setting a Trend. This is a series where, as you're aware, folks, your seniors in the CMT journey who've cleared level three are turning around and offering their support and their mentorship and guidance to everyone who's about to face the exams. And the exams are literally in 4 days, so it's going to be fun, I guess. And so, on that note, I welcome Arvind Venkat. Arvind cleared his CMT level 3 in June this year. And Arvind, thank you so much for taking out the time to share your thoughts and your inputs with everyone on the call.
Joe,
Not
Joe,
get between you and your
June
presentation.
this
So,
year,
say again.
June this year,
June
you
this year,
forgot our
yeah.
friendship goes way,
Our
our friendship
friendship
goes
goes way
way back.
back. You are having
Yeah,
cleared the exam is June this year.
I think I did before that.
You did? Oh, but then
Yeah,
I'm making a mistake right there. But anyways, in any case, what I like about this series and what it represents to the CMD Association is just this culture of mutual support that we want to build. It's funny when I look at, for instance, current board members like John Kolovos, who credit Dave Lundgren, also a senior board member, as one of their mentors. Dave credits Frank Teixeira, a Boston investment legend, as one of his mentors. And Frank Teixeira credits Ralph Acampora as one of the people who taught him the initial rudiments of technical analysis. I honestly believe that at the heart of who we are as an organization, it is this culture of being there for each other that will help us go a very long way, right? So on that note, Arvind, I'll turn this session over to you, and we're all looking forward to your insights and what you have to share about preparing for the exams, especially now that we are at this really short time frame, 4 days away from the start of the exam. Take it away, my friend.
this is actually quite a nice period, 4 days before your exams. Anyway, so let's get this started over. So the idea that say technically speaking, if 4 days before your exams, if I just come to you and tell you, you know what, go and study all the books, all the suggested reading material. I think there are about 10 odd books that there are, the material from which Wiley's concise study material is even made. So that's not going to be possible in the last 4 days. But there are things that can be done in 4 days or 4 years before your exams, and most of it has to kind of from where I come from, most of it has to come from kind of understanding what the charter is and what you're expected to be and to do. So let's get started with who am I. Not the Jackie Chan movie, but yeah, this is who I am. I play music, I do math, not a lot. I see charts, I trade risk, I make my own bed and food. I'm quite proud about that. I've been doing that for about 10 years now, so that's good. On the career side, it's been quite a shortish. Every day still feels like a year, so trust me on that. We're all on the same boat. Working isn't fun. So I've gone through portfolio management for high net worth individuals in India and US, and then moved into interest rates and fixed income trading at a prop firm, and now I'm a commodity trader at a hedge fund. Believe it or not, it's not as fun as it sounds. It does sound cool, but the daily work is too high. Right now I am talking from my office, and where I've been since morning, and I will be till night. So yeah, let's come to what this is and what this isn't. This it's quite an easy way of looking at things, and by this I mean this call. So this is what it is. We are going to see what has worked for me. Pretty much, I'll be honest with you guys, but it did work quite well. And this isn't a mock exam. This isn't a guide. This isn't a someone that you have to follow. This isn't a comparative list of the things that everyone has to do. It is more of the things that you can do. Listen, hear me out, and if you feel this might work for you, go ahead. I mean, it worked for me, and I'm not a bright student. Trust me on that. Again, yeah, now following the same theme, things that are key and things that are a sacrilege. Again, these are all my opinions, so feel free to crucify me. Yeah, these are the things that are key actually. Just doing what you learn, You learn quite a lot of things when you think about it over the three levels. You go through the fundamentals of TA, and then you go through how to construct pretty much a rudimentary strategy in L2, because you get familiarized with all the components of any strategy, be it trend following or mean reverting, and then you try them out, and then you learn from the trials. Those are the key, and I'm saying that with with 100% confidence for all the three levels. Those are the key. And what are a sacrilege? Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the dicey part, because when you type TA, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here would know this. When you type technical analysis, everyone suddenly becomes an expert. It's the biggest snake oil in the entire market. Everyone wants to sell TA instead of even applying TA, and that sucks. I'll be honest, pardon my French, but that sucks. And then there is this thing where people, copy a trading style, in the hopes of finding their own. They go ahead and copy someone's trading style, and then they try to build on it. But see, you can do that, uh, but I'd not recommend it, because you need to make your own mistakes to kind of learn hard lessons. And making your own mistakes isn't without without the cost. And yeah, what are you looking for? A way you can understand, without without looking like a chartered accountancy student. I say that because I was one of those guys. It really isn't fun again. So there are these millions of accounting standards. Every country has its own, and the entire world has its own accounting standards that get revised very, very frequently. And you don't want to be one of those guys, just cramming them in and remembering them, trying to remember everything. What you should do, I mean, again, should is a harsh word. What you can do, try things out, be the odd guy. I mean, it's fine not to have not to be vocal about your thoughts. Instead, you can just sit down in the corner, just be in silence and think about things. But what do you get after doing all this? Nothing. You get to learn what is expected from you, and you get to understand the intricacies of TA, and actually kind of appreciate it for what it is. It's because it's easy to say it's easy to see a chart and say if the price will go up or down, because there are only two outcomes. It's binary. 50% of the time you'll be right. A blind monkey is right 50% of the time in the markets. But being consistent about it, having an understanding of what is being done on the chart and what is going on, that kind of helps. And yeah, you don't get anything more than that, so keep your expectations low. It's not like you're going to complete CMT and you're immediately going to become, who was that guy, the guy who came in The Big Short, Michael Burry. You're not going to do that. And Michael Burry is also wrong plenty of times. So yeah, you don't get anything more and you don't get anything less, so that's should be good enough. The ideal approach that kind of worked for me is to think like a hedge fund manager. Every time I took a trade, even if you just think about trades, even in your CMT exams, or while preparing for your CMT exams especially, you see an indicator, then you think if you'd be betting your money on it. And by your money, I mean money for which you're responsible for which you're accountable for to your investors to deliver alpha. When you start doing this, you start questioning everything, especially whatever you read in news articles that Goldman or JPM or Citadel or anyone says, because you'll start questioning things, and you'll feel, you'll probably feel you have a slightly better understanding. I'm not sure if it'll change in a single day. Then coming to thinking in and out of the box. To be honest, I have no idea what I wrote in here. I had a bender of a weekend. Yeah. So this is the fun part. Everything that you will do, and everything that you have ever done, and everything that you will do even after doing CMT, has probably been done before. This is the best part. Everything has already been done before. And but broadly speaking, you can call strategies in two kinds. You can either go for trend following, or which I like to call them as trend hugging, and then you can go for variance hunting, where you just see the divergence and then you take trades based on them. So things have already been done, but that is not to say there is nothing new. What is new, what can be new, is when to apply each one. The markets keep changing, and the only way you're going to be relevant is if your strategies are going to be changing. Yep. So see all the different markets, see commodities, see bonds, see swaps, see rates, see equities. And right now, see, to be honest, right now there are a hell lot more of tools than when I started trading. So there are just these plenty of open source tools. Open source has scaled up massively. There's this thing called OpenBB, which is an open source version of Bloomberg apparently, and it's frankly amazing. You guys can check that out. It works in Python. It's nice, and don't get afraid of Python or R. They just languages. They can be learned. Things that have helped me again, yeah, all the free time that I had, after following my hobbies and passions, I just sat down and saw charts every day. Nothing else. I traded, of course. I still trade every day, but I just sat down every day religiously and just saw charts. That's pretty much it. So when you see charts, what you have to remember is an important thing is that charts are fractal in nature. So just zoom in the time frame. So see a chart in 1 hour, see it in 5 minutes, see it in 10 minutes, see it in 1 day, see it in 1 week, see it in 1 month. Because what happens if you do when you do that is price is price of anything financial that is traded is a time series. It is a continuous time series when you think about it. You know, in reality you have tick by tick data. So what happens is that when you look at 1 hour charts, and then when you have seen enough 1 hour charts and 5 minute charts or even 1 minute charts corresponding to that 1 hour candle, what you will be good at, what you will get become good at is recognizing what micro movements would have happened within one candle. That helps. That helps a lot. And that's the point, because the statisticians would call it, will give it fancy names: co-integration, heteroscedastic, or autocorrelation, or even collinearity. Shit, I can't even say that. But to the eyes of a technician, it's just right. It's just ripe for a trade, man. That's our niche actually. What a system might take, a computer might take ages to compute. You can do that by just seeing things. And a computer, I mean, trust me, I mean, don't get fooled by these guys telling you that AI is going to conquer the world. I mean, AI probably will help us, but it's surely not going to conquer the world, because the human eye can see something and then form an opinion in 20 milliseconds, and form an opinion as well. 20 milliseconds. Yeah, and with the fastest fiber we have, it takes twice the time for data to just reach London from New York. Let's say if you're trading US stocks from London, or London equities, the FTSE from New York. And yeah, that's the truth. And light speed is slow. I know that. So this is just the data transfer. It's not even including the analysis part, which takes much more time. And this is just the latency part, the network latency. So you are going to be relevant, because your role is going to be like that of a pilot. Things are going to be going on autopilot for the most part. When the markets are in their range, the markets are in their trend, the markets are beautiful, and everyone makes money. But I mean, of course, the markets aren't going to be always like that, because if the markets were like that, who's going to lose money for people to make money? That's the best part. Someone has to lose money for a trader to make money. Now coming to the exams, I've blabbered on enough about the outlook, and the reason why I told you that is because if you think about CMT and this profession in that angle, instead of just looking to clear an exam, it'll actually help you. It actually helps you in clearing the exam, because you have a broader world view. You have a broader view as to what you can do. Yeah, so you have to clear exams, of course, but then going with the sole intention of acing a test isn't going to help you. It didn't help me. It's not an academic program. It's not K-12 where you just go through each and every year of school, and then you learn more things, and then you just give exams, get done with them, give exams, get done with them, give exams, get done with them. This is not that. you know be it with or without a CMT, you can be an amazing trader, a great trader. What CMT is supposed to be doing is just to recognize the fact that you are actually there. It is, let's say, it's a feather in your hat. It is that if you are a good trader, and if you have CMT, that's a recognition that you can proudly say that, what, I'm recognized as a great trader. Coming to your exams again, there are three key aspects. Visualize everything. Whenever you see a question, it might have numbers, it might have charts. Visualize the hell out of it, and visualize. See, you should be good at visualizing so much that if you see a chart, you must be able to visualize where the indicators would be. Overlay them mentally on the chart. Overlay them. Where would this be? Where would MACD be? Where would RSI be? I'm just giving normal indicators because it's easier to get started with these. With visualizing these. And also this is the best part. If you have spent enough time on charts, you'll be even able to visualize what would happen to your indicators if you tweaked their parameters. Changing the time frame, changing it from close to low, to changing the source of the indicators. Yeah, and then perfect it. And third one, be skeptic. I don't know why this came out of order, but you know what? It's fine. Practicing charts, working with data, and nothing more or nothing less is going to be cutting it for you. And be skeptic. Always be skeptic. If the entire market thinks you should be buying, be skeptic if you really want to be buying it, because the majority can't be right, because the majority can't get paid on it. Because who's going to be paying the majority? You think about it. And that's why most TV analysts are the best contrarian indicators you'll ever find. So the three levels, again, it doesn't matter if you have done all three levels, or if you have just started the first level, or if you are anywhere in the middle and you're gonna have your exams day after tomorrow. Even then, it doesn't matter. Be brave to have an opinion. Be courageous. Be ballsy, but let that be informed opinion. So have an opinion, but make sure that you know what you're talking about. Make sure that you know what you have an opinion about, because anyone and everyone can be wrong. Even the greatest traders can be wrong, and even the most junior first month candidate can surprise you. And don't try to over prepare for your exams. Nothing you ever read will get you ready for the markets. It is actual market trading experience. And the same way for your exams, nothing you read is ever going to be enough to actually make you 100% ready for it. There is no 100%. The probability of nothing is 100, and the probability of nothing is 0. The same way, so if you just focus on clearing the exam, you might, but will you be the CMT that you want to be? Okay. So coming back to the three levels, the exams are also structured that way. You have your introduction, and then making you think like an on-the-job trader. This is the learning curve. In introduction, an understanding, and making you think like you're an on-the-job trader. That's the crux of all the three. So it doesn't matter how many hours you put in. I mean, it does for your understanding, but then again, hours that you put in is relative to each person. So I'd say have more time in actually practicing what you do, and you should be good enough. And yeah, I didn't do a lot of preparing for the exam, personally speaking, because I was already trading at that time. I was trading interest rates and fixed income. It's a bit of commodities at that time, but not for the most part. And what after this? What after CMT? This is a nice question. Nothing is going to change. You will be a CMT. Yeah, you might get your charter in time, and you put it on behind your name or in front of your name on LinkedIn. It's not going to add. It's not going to add anything. You're not going to become like all muscular in a single day. Even mentally, you're still going to be the same person. So the reason why I'm telling you that is not to say that this doesn't hold value. This does hold value, but be open to learning new things every day. Because if you take this into your head, saying, what, I've done it. I've done the highest qualification in this field, so I don't have anything to learn. That's wrong. Even the best people I've seen, even the people who have had 20, 30 years of trading experience, they've been open to learn. And when I was a first month intern, I had people with 30 years of trading experience who have been trading the pit sessions of at Chicago. From there on, people who have been trading for so long, they've even had to learn from me. But again, for the most part, I was the one who was learning from them, happily. Yeah. So if anything, TA tells you to buy when everyone is selling. So don't be afraid, and apply that in real life. Do what scares you. Might work. Who knows? And I think that is the presentation. I need to figure out how do I stop sharing. Oh yeah, that is it. So I'll be popping onto Discord right now. So see you guys
Yes,
there.
we will, Arvind. But thank you so much.
Yep.
I loved the flow that you had with this session, and I loved also how you kind of started from this very macro view. And that's something I've noticed is a hallmark of everyone who kind of goes through the CMT program. They stop. It's almost like once you finish the three exams, you stop thinking in terms of the exams and start then getting this macro vision for how studying should and could be done, right? And
Yes.
you're right. You know that in the last 4 days before the exam, there is only so much new prep one can do. But I want to ask you a couple of questions before we move over to Discord. And you've done this
Mhm.
in kick-ass time in 20 minutes flat. So that also always makes for good videos, right?
No, the thing is, I have the start of my next market session in 30 minutes, so I have to be on time.
Yeah, I know. So we definitely need to make sure that we're able to get as much valuable content out of you as possible. But so yeah, I mean, I apologize for the mistake I made earlier. You cleared your level three in 2021 December, right?
Yeah,
You've taken
yeah,
all three of your exams one, two, and three in the Decembers of successive years. If I remember correctly.
yeah,
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 and you cleared each of them in your first attempt.
yeah.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Because weirdly,
So,
during that time, I was shifting jobs right in
uh-huh.
May or June, so I just didn't
Right.
have time.
No, understandably. And the beauty of this journey is that there is that flexibility and you can pace yourself as well, which is sometimes something I like to tell candidates also, that you have the bandwidth to pace yourself. And I guess what we're talking about now is relevant for folks who will be watching the recordings of this session, maybe in preparation for the June exams as well, not just because this content will live on. And I'm really glad that we are doing this, and eventually we'll be able to create a nice library of advice. And so that's one part of it. The other one was just maybe I'd love to kind of get a bit more of your thoughts on your process when you were preparing for the exams, starting from scratch, right? So when you made up your mind to take, let's say, it's the CMT level 1 or level 2, how then did you strategize preparing for the exams?
Well, I mean, I'll need to tell you this honestly. I told you this back when I started off. I
Mhm.
didn't even know this program existed until my mom told me. So she did the recon, she did the research,
Then
and
I deeply appreciate what your
yeah,
mom has done for your career then.
yeah, I do. So yeah, I just looked at level one, and be it for all the three levels, I had a quite a similar approach, where I had a look at what topics are covered. In addition to the study material, I went ahead and did my research on the topics, by which I mean reading entire books on each
Right,
topic.
right.
So pretty
So
much all
you
of
went
Steve
to the
Lee's
reference
books.
books as well, in addition to just the curriculum, the reference books that were
Yeah,
mentioned in the curriculum, the source material for each of the chapters
yeah,
is where you went.
all the 14 books.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's
And the
actually
best part
fun.
is they
Yeah.
keep. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, please go ahead. I'll make my point after.
Uh, and the best part is in all the three levels you get tested on all of those. It's not like
Yeah.
you're done with this and you don't go back. It's never like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the other thing that I always remind candidates, that the reference books where this content is drawn was, then these are books where the concepts are kind of timeless, right? And what happens is that the exams look at increase in the degree of complexity of your application of the concepts, from whether you can define them as a basic idea definition of something, to being able to really articulate how concept A aligns with concept B in order to make a decision much more robust. And so
Yeah.
the idea of, I think, we don't often in school, in our very linear curriculum, don't learn the interconnectedness of ideas and how sophistication grows, not newer topics getting introduced. But yeah, I mean, it's super fascinating, and I'm glad you brought this up about going back to the text as well. Again, this will probably benefit someone who's planning for the June 24 exam. So
Of
let's
course.
bring our attention to the December 23 exam and say, put yourself in the mind of someone who is now 4 days away from the exam. What do you
Mhm.
advise that they do for the next 4 days for each of the three levels?
I mean, if it's L1 or L2, I'd rather focus on. If I was the candidate, I'd rather focus on remembering, because to be honest, even now I'm bad at remembering the terms and the phraseology of things.
Right,
Rather, I'd
right.
know what would happen. I'd be like, I mean, you can't say I know what would happen. That's again bad, because we never know what will happen. But
Yeah,
where the probability is tilted towards.
well said. Yeah.
But then, yeah, even for L3, I'd focus on remembering what is what.
Right.
You see something visually, you remember it, but then what is the word association for it? And actually, the closer you get to the exam, it is high time you start revising your ethics, because yeah, I've met a few CMT candidates, and yeah, no one likes studying ethics. Yeah, they're always like, it's dry, it's boring, we'll get through it. We are all ethical. It's not about that. It's about knowing what are the standards, and
Right.
the CFA's ethical standards are quite in depth. And if
Right.
if you guys can learn anything from my ignorance, I failed in my CFA level 1 just in ethics. Everything else I aced it, 80 plus ethics 19%,
Uh-huh.
just because I was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you know what, we'll do it. We'll go with the flow.
Right, right. But I think, yeah, you're right. Understanding the standards is uh, slightly different from being an ethical person, right? And there is a reason, I guess, credentialing bodies around the world have gotten together to try and articulate exactly what it means to be ethical in the space of the financial markets. It's just, I think, the tragedy of our times that there needs to be a focus on clearly saying that one ought to be ethical. But hey, what do you do, right? But on that note, once again, thank you so much for your time, Arvind. Always a pleasure to chat with you also. What we'll do now is we'll end this stream and we'll all head over. Kavita will, in fact, meet you in Discord back in the video channel called Room 1. And we'll continue the conversation there where candidates are also hang out. And I would love for them today, I think, in advance of the exams, I'll be very happy for them to turn their cameras on and have face to face chat with you also. So, Arvind, thank you so much. I
Sure.
am respectful of your time. You have another
Yeah.
20 minutes with us, so we'll make the best of that.
I
Yeah,
don't know. 20 minutes is too long. I'll take in 10 minutes max.
10
I'll
minutes
try
is
to,
good.
marathon through those
Yeah,
questions. No, not marathon,
sounds
sprint through
good.
those questions. Yeah. Perfect.
Take care then. I'll see you on Discord. Yeah, bye bye.
Cheers.